Hey, welcome back. So, you've probably heard this a million times. If you want to build muscle, you just have to eat more protein. Simple, right? But what if I told you there's way more to the story? Today, we're going to dig into the hidden factors that decide whether all that protein you're eating actually helps you build muscle or if it's just going to waste. So, does this sound familiar? You're tracking everything, you're hitting your protein target every single day, but the changes you're seeing in the mirror just don't add up to the effort you're putting in. Man, it's super frustrating, and it turns out there's a really good biological reason why that happens.
And that right there brings us to what you could call the protein paradox. I know it sounds totally backwards, but sometimes eating more protein can actually cause a deficiency in the very things you need to build muscle, amino acids. You see, the real key isn't just how much you eat, it's all about digestion, what your hormones are doing, and whether your cells can even absorb the good stuff.
All right, so our journey here doesn't start with dumbbells. It actually starts in your gut. Let's talk about the very first hurdle your body has to clear, just breaking down the protein you eat.
Okay, so think of this like a three-part security system in your gut. First up, you need really strong stomach acid to get the ball rolling. Second, you need specific enzymes from your pancreas to continue the job. And third, and this might surprise you actually need fat to help you absorb it all. Get any of these wrong, and that pricey protein shake, yeah, pretty much useless.
Now, get this. We always think things like indigestion or acid reflux mean we have too much stomach acid, right? Well, a lot of the time, it's actually a sign you have too little. Without enough of that acid, protein doesn't get broken down correctly from the start. And then if you don't have enough pancreatic enzymes to finish the job, that steak you ate never even becomes the amino acids your muscles are desperate for. And this is a big one, a huge myth buster. For years, the advice was always, go for the leanest protein you can find. But it turns out, protein digests best when it comes with its natural fat. That fat actually helps the whole process along, which means a good steak or a chicken with a skin on is way easier for your body to handle than some super lean, skinless chicken breast. Okay, so let's say you've got the digestion part down. The amino acids are now in your bloodstream. Now we hit the next big challenge. Your hormones. It's like this constant battle going on inside you between the hormones that build muscle up and the ones that tear it down. On one team, you've got your anabolic heroes, growth hormone and testosterone. These are the good guys, essential for building muscle. And on the other team, you've got the villain of our story, cortisol. This is your stress hormone, and it actively works to sabotage all your hard work. Here's the bottom line. Chronic stress is an absolute muscle killer. When you're stressed all the time, your cortisol levels stay high, and your body literally starts eating its own muscle tissue, usually from your thighs and glutes, and turns that protein into sugar. And guess what? That sugar can then get stored as belly fat. You're literally losing muscle because of stress. So how do we fight back? By boosting our allies, of course. You can get a massive natural boost of growth hormone from things like high-intensity workouts and intermittent fasting. And for testosterone, you've got to make sure you're getting enough zinc. The best places to find that? Red meat and shellfish. Yeah, this really paints a picture of what we're fighting against, doesn't it? You've got high blood sugar from eating refined carbs, just killing your anabolic hormones. Then you have things that raise estrogen, like too much alcohol, which can tank your testosterone. And of course, there's that chronic stress, always pumping out that muscle-destroying cortisol. All right, so we've digested the protein. Our hormones are looking good. The last piece of the puzzle is actually getting those amino acids out of your bloodstream and into your muscle cells. And this, right here, is probably the single biggest roadblock for most people. And that roadblock has a name: insulin resistance. Basically what happens is your muscle cells just get tired of listening to the hormone insulin. So even if your blood is packed with all those great amino acids, your muscles can't get to them. They're literally locked out. Here's a simple way to think about it. Insulin is the key. It's supposed to slide into the lock on your muscle cell, which is the receptor, and open the door. That lets all the good stuff, like amino acids, get inside to repair and build. But when you have insulin resistance, that lock is jammed. The key just won't turn anymore. So those amino acids, they're just stuck floating around in your bloodstream with nowhere to go. Eventually, your liver just converts them into sugar, a total waste. Okay, so what's jamming the lock? What's causing this insulin resistance in the first place? Well, you guessed it. It's usually our daily habits. Eating too many carbs is a big one. Eating too often, and yup, that includes munching on protein bars all day, is another. Even just eating too much protein at once can contribute. Your body just gets so overwhelmed by insulin signals that the cells eventually just give up and start ignoring them. All right, this brings us to the final piece, where we tie everything together. It's all about shifting our focus from just more protein to the right protein in the right way and at the right time. When it comes to actually building muscle, not all amino acids are playing on the same team. There's one MVP, and its name is leucine. Leucine is like the spark that ignites the whole muscle building engine. So, how much leucine is in your protein? That's a really big deal. And this chart right here just lays it all out. Whole foods like steak and eggs are loaded with leucine. Plus, they have those natural fats we talked about that help you digest everything. Powders, on the other hand, they're often missing those fats and can be full of sugar and fillers that just make insulin resistance worse. Just relying on powders alone, it's really not the best game plan. Okay, let's wrap this all up into a simple, clear plan you can actually use. And hey, if you're still here and enjoying this, do me a favor and give me a sub. It really helps out. All right, let's get to the blueprint. So here it is, your muscle building blueprint. Number 1, fix your digestion so you're actually breaking the protein down. Number 2, balance your hormones. That means manage your stress, work out hard, and maybe try some fasting. Number 3, beat insulin resistance by cutting back on carbs and how often you eat. And finally, number 4, choose quality over quantity. Go for those leucine-rich whole foods with natural fats. So that leaves us with one last big question. Is your biggest roadblock to getting stronger really happening in the gym, or is it happening in your gut? Think about it. The answer might just change everything. Thanks for sticking with me on this deep dive.